Whether you're a lifelong keeper or just getting started, help us encourage responsible keeping, conservation, and public education in the interest of keeping our reptiles safe and healthy as we protect them for future generations. You're invited to spend time with us as we experience these awesome animals together on Intrepid Exotics. What's going on, guys? Bringing chat up here, getting better at this multitasking stuff. Oh, man. So, we've got everybody on here that's not already asleep. If you guys are anything like me, if you eat early in the day and about an hour later, I'm falling over taking my old person nap. Those are a definite necessity these days. Excuse me. So, yeah, I hope everybody had a good day. I was just finishing up some stuff. We got the video put out earlier today. Got a bunch of cages cleaned and whatnot. And I thought, what the hell? It's Thanksgiving. We'll get on here and do an open live stream. So if anybody feels like jumping up, the link is up there. It's pinned to the top. I make sure that it works. Yep. All you got to do is click that pinned comment. The link's right up there if you guys want to jump in and chat. If you don't, that's cool too. I'm sure I can find something to bump my gums about for a little while. But, who we got? We got Big D's on here. How you doing? Nicole. Yep. Speaking of food comas, there we go. Erica, good evening. Laura. Me Mutter is on. She is here. Jim Hill, how are you doing? Yeah, and there's Christina. Yeah, I think I scheduled this like a half hour ago. Just decided to jump on and do something just for the moment. Because we can. Man, I'll tell you what. When there's only two of us here, I found the perfect way to do Thanksgiving dinner. So IHOP had a Thanksgiving thing, so we DoorDashed that. Cleaning up was so easy. There was no cooking. We had time to sit down and eat. Threw some plastic containers away, and then I had time to get to work on all the rest of the stuff. What's going on, Gerald? Hello, how you doing? North Carolina's in the house there. Hey, good evening. Let's see what else we got going on here. Sam, how you doing? Okay, let me make sure I can get this thing to where these things will all scroll. Oh. Yeah, you know, it was funny. I was sitting here working a little while ago. I was like, damn, why does my back hurt so much? And then I remembered it's because I cleaned enclosures. I cannot clean enclosures on my damn retics and my berm without feeling it an hour later. Those guys. And I think my scale's broken downstairs because my when I weigh my snakes, I decided to weigh Tigger and just see where he's sitting at right now. Last I checked, he was like 70, 80 pounds. And so when I weigh him, I've got to weigh myself first and then pick him up, put him on the scale, and of course subtract my weight from it, and that's his. So he's still sitting at 70 pounds, about 2 weeks away from a meal, which makes sense because, you know, he eats, he puts on about 10 pounds or so. But it looks like I dropped 20 pounds somewhere from the last time I weighed him, because the last time I stepped on that scale, I was 240, and now I'm 220. So I guess we're going in the right direction. We was at Aubrey Pruitt's place a couple months ago talking with him, and I'd made some comments about, you know, not missing any meals. And he just kind of said off the cuff, he's like, man, just drink a ton of water. And for some reason here the last couple months, I've been going through cases of water like it's nobody's business. So I don't know. Apparently it worked. I guess if you want to lose weight, just start drowning yourself in water all the time. Yeah, I do need to drop some more too, because man, that plus the weight of these snakes when I'm cleaning stuff off is I feel it. Hey, Bill. Yeah, that was kind of off the cuff too. Since I've got the 4 days off work, I want to try and get 4 videos out over the time off. So I know the last couple of weeks has just been really slow, and we've been doing the Saturday night live streams and whatnot. But so yeah, we'll figure out what the topic's going to be for tomorrow. You guys got anything specific, feel free to throw it down in the comments or whatnot. But like I said, we're going to be doing 3 more videos over the course of the next 3 days. So that is true. That's the only thing we don't have is leftovers. But let's see. We got, she says, Tara needs to come over and help me with the retics. She says she cleaned the hog nose enclosure today. That was hard work. Yeah, we're going to have to get you out here with Tigger. And it's so funny cleaning Tigger's enclosure too, because for those of you guys that don't know, he's my big purple tiger male retic. He's about 16 feet long and as of today, 70 pounds. But the snake is so funny. He'll see me, he'll perk up, he'll start cruising the glass like he wants to come out. As soon as I open up the door, he S's up and he sits there just still. And I think it's a game with him because he's just trying to see if he's ever going to be able to scare me away. But of course, it never works. As soon as I start getting him out, he's like a 2-year-old again. So, Donna, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Let's see. There's a Repticon going on out here in Raleigh, North Carolina, Saturday and Sunday. Seen on Facebook where some people are driving up for it. I don't know if it's supposed to be a special one or not, or whatever the case may be, but I may end up swinging out there, just poking my head in, see who's there. Vodka most definitely does count as water. It's clear. As long as it's got that one basic physical characteristic, then we can still count it as water. Oh yeah, man. That's, it's kind of funny. The everybody going nuts for the holidays and their time off and making all these long trips, and you get that time off work and vacation time or whatnot, and you start moving 100 miles an hour your first day off, and then you finally get home the day before you got to go back to work. It doesn't feel like you took any bit of a break. It seems counterintuitive to me. So I really enjoy the just sitting home and not doing anything. And I was driving down 73 yesterday, I think it was. And within the course of a little 5-mile strip there was, I counted at least 15 state and local cops just pulling people over like mad. They'd come off of one stop, hit their lights, pull another one over. So we definitely like staying home on the holidays. There's too much dumbness going on out there. And especially when I was working for the medical examiner's office, we stayed busy with car wrecks and stuff like that, which is a terrible thing to have happen over the holidays for anybody. That's for sure. Let's see. Hey, thank you so much. $20 super chat. When am I having my turkey? I had my turkey dinner earlier today. It was compliments of IHOP. They did pretty good. It wasn't bad. There's no leftovers, but man, it was easy. DoorDash for the win. We definitely appreciate that. Like it says in the thing there, all the super chats are going towards recording equipment. I had a very very generous contribution earlier today, so we're gonna start researching some camera equipment, see if we can't get some things upgraded, so we can start putting out a little bit better video quality and stuff like that. So yeah, anything that comes in goes straight to that. Right. Let's see. You know, it reminds me of the scene in Up in Smoke. Any old folks in here like me will remember the Cheech and Chong Up in Smoke, where they get arrested, they go to court, and everything gets thrown out because the judge has got a water glass up on the bench, and Tommy Chong starts freaking out. He starts losing it, so Cheech goes up and grabs that water glass off the bench, brings it back, and Tommy takes a big slurp of it. It's vodka, man. So they got out of that because the judge was up there drinking vodka on the bench. Hey, Michael, how you doing? How do retics and boas differ? I mean, in terms of care, but keeping them, personalities, behaviors, handling. Man, you know, we get this question a lot, especially from folks that are considering getting the bigger snake. And I'm gonna say that the difference between the snakes is it pales in comparison to who the keeper is and how they're handled. How's the best way to explain it? And you've got personality difference. Say, for instance, between retics and berms. Retics are really athletic. They're really high energy. Like when I'm carrying my berms around or something, they're constantly periscoping up. They're trying to get away. They're trying to get down. They want to run around and stuff. Whereas if I carry my my berm around, he's a lot more mellow. He'll just kind of lay there. He'll kind of, ease his head around and stuff. Same way when he gets down on the ground. When I clean enclosures, I've got to put my retics in a tub 80% of the time, unless they just happen to be really chill that day. Otherwise, they're going to take off. They're going to get under everything. They're going to get over everything. My berm, I can set him down on the floor, and he'll just kind of mosey along really slow. And by the time he gets even close to getting in trouble, I've got his enclosure done. And I can put him back in there. So that's kind of the difference between them. Boas, they naturally try and scare you. Boas are more arboreal than retics and berms are. Retics are as well, but once they mature, they start getting too big to really spend too much time up in the trees, and then they end up staying on the ground. Boas, they love climbing, and just like any other arboreal snake, they seem to be a lot more reactive than the pythons are. Well, I say that, but green tree pythons fall into that category too. Carpet pythons, tree boas, all of these being arboreal, they tend to move. They tend to be more flighty. They look scarier. Their body posture looks scarier than most. But as far as their actual personality is, it's almost 100% how you work with them. My boa Charlie, who you guys will see in the video from the educational event that we did, just the most chill snake. I may go into his enclosure and he'll look at me with his neck all effed up or whatnot. But as soon as I get him out, he's just as chill as all the rest of them are. So I think when you're talking about demeanors and which species acts like what, I think it's best to kind of put the species completely out of your mind and don't let yourself be prejudiced by what some people think it's supposed to act like. Because I've seen people that were perfectly comfortable handling my berm, and then they get a hold of my carpet python and they pucker up so tight you couldn't shove a needle up their ass with a jackhammer. And and it's like, guys, it's all you've got to do is read their behavior and support them and treat them all the same. They'll treat you the same, just about. The show in Raleigh, yeah, just look up Repticon. They've got the if you Google Repticon, then they'll have their list of shows on there. Let's see, here I go, getting way behind. Yeah, man, get through this shift. It's a holiday. You gotta get done, get to the house, and relax. Tam made it. Good to see ya. Oh, yeah. I love my boa. Christina loves my boa. Jessica fell in love with my boa. So Charlie is turning into quite the popular little fella. Hey, Ron, how you doing, man? Good to see you. Glad you made it. Yeah, Ron made a very generous contribution to the channel here earlier, and we are definitely going to be putting that to good use. We definitely appreciate that, man. And it's my understanding as well. Ron has a YouTube channel, I believe, is gonna start putting out some other videos and stuff like that. So we're definitely gonna keep up with him, and as he goes, we'll be sure to support his channel all we can. Oh yeah, Charlie is a good boy. Hog Islands are gorgeous too. Yes, indeed. That was very pleasant today. I got analogies for days, but I do try and keep it PG most of the time. I know I have. Yeah, it's kind of funny because I've had people come up to me before, go, man, my kids love your channel and they watch it all the time. So I always got to keep that in the back of my mind when I'm on here. So not so much when I'm on other people's shows. Went on Chris Eaton's show the other day. Well, not the other day, a couple weeks ago, a few weeks ago, whatever it is now. I have zero concept of time. It's a birth defect I've got to live with. Don't ask me dates about anything. But yeah, it was really cool. And Chris did really good about toning it down, so I didn't get put in a position where I had to start talking like where I come from. I mean, as you can imagine, being a former prison guard and a former soldier and working with construction crews and stuff like that all the time, I'm capable of the most off-color humor that you can possibly imagine. But we got to keep that stuff in check. I don't want any 5-6-year-old kids going back and repeating any prison humor. And where'd you hear that from? Oh, the Intrepid Exotics guy. You should have heard him. He was so funny. Yeah, we don't want to do that. Oh, where are we at? We're at ship routing, weather forecasting. Oh, wow. Yeah. So I guess you are definitely busy this time of year. Retics are illegal where you live. Don't really want to jeopardize your boa collection. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely, man. That's one thing we try. That's one thing I try and do when we do these live streams. Is I know a lot of people will keep respond. Come on and want to just talk about whatever's in their own head. I like to interact with the folks that are hanging out a lot more than that. Plus, it makes it easier for me too, because if I'm responding to a question or if I'm engaged with somebody in the chat, then that means I'm not stressing trying to figure out what to say, which is why these things end up lasting 2 or 3 hours. Oh yeah, 6 to 7 feet is not bad. Clear some space. Oh yeah. I'm in the same boat. I need to add 2 8-foot enclosures soon. So yeah, it's I think that was another thing that I was thinking about doing this weekend too, potentially, is maybe building 2 more enclosures and getting the radiant heat panels on the way. These snakes grow so quick. But I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to rework this back wall right here, and I'm probably going to stack 2 of the 8-footers there, stack the 4-footers over on top of it, and then I've got extra empty enclosures back there too that don't have anything in them. That I'm starting to get such a collection of those things now, it's not even funny. Oh yeah, you saw that. Yeah, Niles has his moments, man. He has his moments where he's incredibly sweet and he's just wanting to hang out, and then there's other moments where as soon as I sit down, he whips me in the back with his tail, tells me to go away. But he is getting nicer about it. They're not full power smacks like they were before. He'll puff his throat out and kind of roll his hips a little bit, and the tail just kind of goes pop. Kind of like, dude, you ain't even worth the energy to hit for real anymore. Just get out of my house. But he's doing pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, Tammy hit the nail on the head. I don't know that it's so much species as it is how we treat them. If you treat an animal like you should be terrified of it, then you're probably going to justify your need to be terrified of it because it's not going to trust you. So, yeah, that's true. yeah. Chris is very much not PG. I'll sit in on his Zoom calls every now and then. Unfortunately, those things aren't recorded. It's definitely grown up time, to say the least. It has to be really cool if you're. I'm guessing you work, some kind of naval shipping and stuff like that. So that's got to be really cool. I have no experience with that at all. I'd be interested to see how all that works. Like air traffic controller for the ocean, I guess. It's a birth defect that's been exacerbated through age. So definitely not aging like wine, that's for sure. Hey, DA, how you doing? Happy Thanksgiving to you as well. Let's see what we got here. What's on hybrid snakes? The only hybrids I've worked with were bat eaters, which are retic and berm hybrids. My thoughts on hybrids are if the particular pairing doesn't result in genetic defects that really hamper the quality of life of the animal, then I'm not against it. But if you like on the old South Park episode where the genetic engineer makes the 4-ass monkeys and the half duck, half frog thing, where they're just looking up at the camera going, "Kill me." Yeah, yeah, that kind of Dr. Frankenstein stuff is definitely not cool. But I mean, like I said, the bad eaters that I've worked with were completely healthy. Didn't show any neurological issues. There may be some out there that I'm not familiar with. I don't know because I've never seen any, but um, at least I've never seen any with issues. The ones that I have seen are perfectly fine. So, oh, you're back. Welcome back. What'd you miss? Well, I changed into the tutu and got up and started dancing on the desk for a little while, and I had everybody throwing money at me. So, um, yep. Sorry you missed it. Yes, indeed. Research is absolutely important. Yeah, I've got to get some 8-footers in here. Faux show. Hey, crazy retic stories. Yeah, I got a crazy retic story. I got a crazy story for just about everything. Um, I guess the worst bite that I was ever involved in with a retic. Um, I was at a place and I heard the next aisle over a little grunt, and I almost completely ignored it because there wasn't much to it. It was just a little, type thing. Uh, but I decided I better go around and see what the deal was. So when I get there, I come around a corner and I see a guy uh, with a purple head and about 2 wraps of 16-foot retic around his neck and his arm up like this, where the retic had grabbed under his arm. 16-footer, mind you, big snake, under his arm, had 2 wraps around his neck, and his air was cut off. He was done. Um, and he wasn't able to get that snake off of his neck by himself. Had I ignored that, the next thing I would have probably heard from the next aisle over would have been a thump as he fell to the floor. If there would have been nobody back there with him, it probably been really bad for him. Uh, we managed to get the snake off of his neck. When I got there, he was every bit of 10, 15 seconds from going out. I mean, you could just see where all of his all of his arteries were compressed from that snake. That snake was serious about that food response. And so, yeah, we got the snake off. And it wasn't even the neck that really made me cringe because, it's the easy parts getting them to unwrap you. The bite right there under the arm, all that soft tissue down there. I felt so bad the whole time. I was just cringing. I was like, oh my God, please just be nice and let this poor kid go because this is terrible. Um, yeah, that's my worst retic bite story. So that's just and hey, Snake Man, how you doing, my friend? I'm gonna click through here. I'm really not gonna address too much of this stuff that's conversations between you guys. I'm just gonna try and make sure that I don't miss any questions, conversation starters, stuff like that. Worst bite I ever took was on my wrist. Same thing, 16-footer, 16-foot female. See, I had this thing that I used to do when I'd open the enclosure, and a lot of times you get a snake that'll want to poke their head out, and what I would do is as they poke their head out, I just flat hand like this. As they go to poke their head out, I just push their nose back with it. Never had any problems doing that. And I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds stupid, but you kind of have to visualize everything. If they're just coming around, you can bump their nose with your hand. They'll turn around and go back the other way. But there was one day. This is why we say anytime you get bit, it's your fault because this was dumb. Um, this one day I was putting a male in to breed, and the female came out and she got her head about that far outside of the enclosure, and for some reason, muscle memory, I just bumped her face. But since she had enough of herself out, she wasn't having it. So she spun around really quick and got a hold of my wrist, and then wrapped me all up all over the place. And it took a little while to get her off, but it wasn't bad. I didn't get sliced up. All I had was some hematomas on there because the teeth will go into the skin. And if they don't rip when they come back out, that skin kind of seals up and the blood will just kind of pool under the skin and you get these bubbles and stuff on there. So you got to put the pressure on it, bust them hematomas down and whatnot. But I did have some tendon damage from where she'd gotten a hold of me like this. And she was just grinding for about 5 minutes. And of course, I've got her head trying to keep her from moving and stuff too much. But yeah, I can't draw my hand back as much as I used to. This is why I'm glad I'm not doing martial arts anymore, because my right hand palm strikes, I used to love them, but now I can't pull it back enough to do so without hurting my wrist. So, we throw that into the barrel of all the other stuff that I'm too old to do now. Yeah, I've taken a couple good bites. That one was one of the dumbest, I think. Let's see, female Ouija. Yeah, I'm missing enclosure. Son is 20. Doesn't do it with me. I don't have a lot of experience working with leechies. I should get over to Aubrey's one of these times. I think he's got some over there. I know we've been talking forever about going over and doing a video at his place. Going over some of the animals that he's got there. He's got some really awesome animals, and I was going to bring one back here at one point too. Pick a species to do a series on. I haven't done one of those in a long time. But man, between work and home and the schedules and everything, it's just almost freaking impossible to make that stuff happen. So, yeah, I got a couple stories. I need to put up a video one of these days of the New Year's Eve show that we did out in Iraq in 2003, 2004. Yes, there's definitely a 2-person rule for a reason, because it's really tough to manage a bite by yourself. It's not, and see, this is the thing that messes people up when you start thinking about that stuff, is that it's not necessarily getting the snake unwrapped from you. That can be difficult and so forth, but it's manageable. The problem is when they've got their teeth sunk into you and you're trying to keep their head from, getting drug off of you. Because, those teeth are fine when they go in and they come back out. But if you draw them across your arm, they're just going to slice you to ribbons. And that's when you get really bad injuries out of it. So yeah, the 2-person is definitely, I mean, if you've got a snake 10, 12 foot that, I don't know, 10, 12 foot's probably about the spot where you want to make sure you've got somebody else there. The kid with the it was, I say kid, but I mean, I'm talking 22, 23, something like that. So it was an adult, wasn't a kid. But yeah, even a 7-footer is going to let you know it's there if it gets a hold of you. Hey, Ray, definitely appreciate it, man. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. We're getting close to our first big benchmark, 10,000 subs. That's kind of, it's just like anything else, when you start You're like, oh, I got my first 100 subscribers. And then you get monetized and you hit that first 100 or that first 1,000 subscribers. And you're like, woohoo, I got my first, you know. And then you realize, oh, yeah, we ain't that big yet. It's a work in progress. I definitely am looking to expand. And, you know, I think I think a lot of this stuff is just a really good message to serious keepers and people that are serious about the animals and so forth. So of course I'd like to see it get out to as many people as possible. I believe in what I do here, and you know, we've got a pretty good sized community of folks that believe in what we do here as well. So my thought is, the more people we get it out to, the better. And eventually, if it keeps growing, then this is something I'll be able to devote all of my time to, as far as the animals go and things like that. So it's getting there, slowly but surely. Rome wasn't built in a day. Oh yeah, that shirt's pretty popular. Yeah, for those of you guys that ain't seen it. Ooh. It's my statement. Oh yeah, Erica said boas are a lot stronger than they look. They certainly are. I'm convinced that pound for pound boas are stronger than retics. Gotcha. A baby Mexican black king snake. It's awesome. I mean, I'm sure there's a million suggestions out there. You have a couple balls and then colubrids are pretty easy as a general rule. Yeah, I've got a Florida king snake downstairs, and she's probably one of the easiest snakes that I've got to take care of. So. I lost. There we go. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure the cyst had to be pretty uncomfortable. Now, you know, Tigger, he's been 70 pounds for a long time. I think he's getting pretty close to maxing out on his length. He's over 10 years old, and yeah, he's been right around 16 feet. So his growth has slowed down so much that I don't foresee him getting a whole lot bigger. Now, Monty, my female retic, on the other hand, is going to pass him up for sure. His favorite spot is this platform right there. He loves hanging out up there. His heater and everything is right down here. I'm pointing to the enclosure behind me for those of you who don't know. That's the Sri Lankan python's house. Right now, he's over by his water bowl over there. The whole spatial thing on the camera and being backwards is really weird. Yeah, Jim and Christina have got some really good source of information on the colubrids. So. Just started with an exotic animal hospital. That's awesome. I say it's awesome, but there was a reason why I got out of I left medical school. I think it would be cool to work at an exotic animal hospital as long as everything was easy and you could send everybody home saying, oh, it's just a sniffle, they'll be okay. But that's not the reality. So that's anything in the medical field. Any of you guys out there that are nurses, doctors, paramedics, even in the veterinary trades, all the love in the world to you guys. Much respect. That's not an easy field to work in. You got to be a strong person to do it. Talking about bites and using alcohol to get them to release alcohol. I keep that brown Listerine in a spray bottle. That helps. Other than that, it's just physical techniques, moving them around and stuff like that. You may get lots of bites. You might be surprised, though. If you get a Sri Lankan in there like mine, you'll get lots of bites. Yeah, you see, Tammy was talking about a girl in a group that had was showing pictures of an anaconda around her neck. That's not always really wise. Um, yeah, we go over that in the handling videos, about not letting them completely get around your neck and stuff like that. And my experience has been that, you know, if you've got the animal out already and they're relaxed and you put them around your neck, the only time you're really going to have to worry is if they try stretching out to go someplace else and they try and anchor around that. Um, or if they start getting scared because of a scared snake will hang on and they'll clench. Uh, but it's just not. It is not worth taking a chance, especially if it's a big anaconda. Because I mean, if you get a big, thick anaconda, um, getting choked out might be the least of your worries. I mean, they put a tight enough grip on there. I'm sure they could separate discs and things like that. Um, so yeah, putting snakes around your neck is bad, as a general rule. Oh yeah, don't forget hit the like button. How many people we got here? 30. We need more. There, I hit the like button too, so we should get that up to 30. Yep. Yeah, I don't know, man. People don't take criticism really well. Some people. Matter of fact, I was just talking with one of the other subscribers today on Facebook Messenger. He's getting his first reticulated python, and he's doing his due diligence, doing a lot of research on it and so forth. But the guy that's selling him to him is just giving him terrible information, which I hate to see. I don't know what brought that up or where I was going with that, but I guess since I brought it up, the most logical way to end that part of the conversation is if you're getting your first of a species from somebody and you're not sure on husbandry or things like that, don't just take the person's advice that's selling you the animal. Ask somebody else. Ask a couple somebody else's. Because it's real easy if you're not really well versed in something and you see somebody else who you think is, they may not be giving you good advice. Just like this guy. I don't know the guy. He may be the nicest guy in the world, but he gave the guy really bad advice about housing a retic. Um, so yeah, for anybody, if you're getting started with something new, ask around, get online to the people that are reputable that have got their head screwed on straight. You can ask me, and if I don't have the answers, I know somebody somewhere that does. Uh, I've got a lot of friends in the reptile community that are really, really on point with a bunch of stuff. Yeah, talking about that. How much does it cost to feed Niles? It costs me not as much as you might think. Um, he eats a combination of tilapia, shell on shrimp, and chicken wings right now. If he gets a little bit bigger, I'll start throwing him some legs. But for right now, he's on chicken wings, and I'll give him some eggs sometimes. Every now and then, he'll get a full rodent. I don't give him a whole lot of whole rodents because that's not something you really want to be a staple for their diet. But I mean, it's not much. You throw it in with the grocery bill, pretty much. Um, Honestly, I don't even notice the cost of it. Every time we order groceries, I'll order another bag of tilapia, another bag of shrimp, and a bag of chicken wings will last me forever with him. So it's not bad at all. The place where you really get in trouble is when you start going to things like the box stores, PetSmart, Petco, and buying food from them, uh, because generally their stuff is priced way, way higher than it needs to be when there's an alternative that you can get for them elsewhere for a reasonable price. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Best way to loosen the grips. Yep. You think of this? Okay. Best way to loosen a snake's grip is to do it from the tail. What do you think of this? And not to loosen it from the middle because of, yep, everything there is correct. Um, you always start unwrapping them from the tail. And you'll find a lot of times too, when you take a bite, if you're trying to help somebody out of one, um, a lot of times if you secure the head of the snake, you're not squeezing them, you're not choking them out, you're just keeping them from moving while the other person unwraps from the tail. And if you can get them to the point where they're stretched out on the floor, the other person will kind of start working them out, and both of you start moving apart and get them laid out on the floor, they'll start to feel vulnerable and they'll let go. Um, there's also the technique that uh, Garrett Hartle has done before. I've never tried it, but he said you can take their tail and chew on it like a corn cob. Not hurting them, of course, but just letting them know that you're there. And he said he's gotten them to release doing that too. I guess he was out in the islands or something like that and and somebody had told him that trick. So everybody I talked to said it works. But yeah, I mean, if you try wrestling them from the middle, yeah, you're not going to get anything accomplished with them. They're just gonna tighten up on either side, and you're gonna be fighting. And one thing to remember is, if you find one and you feel like it's starting to get around your neck, then an old jujitsu technique is simply ducking your chin. Putting your if you like, say for instance, somebody's coming in and they're trying to wrap your head up. If you drop your chin down into your sternum, then they're going to get your chin. They're not going to get your neck. You try and protect that. So if you've got a snake, if you get a bite and you feel them starting to come around, immediately drop your chin down and curl up a little bit. That way, if they do wrap you up, they'll be wrapping around your mouth and your jaw and stuff like that, and they won't be getting in underneath your neck. For any of you guys out there that are fighters or jiu-jitsu guys or something like that, grapplers, this is all probably muscle memory for you guys. And I'm sure that saved your butt a bunch of times. Hey, Jim, thank you so much. This stuff all really does make a big difference, man. Every one of you guys with the super chats and stuff, very much appreciated. Like I said before, we finance this stuff all off of my job with the utilities. So yeah, the community support makes a huge difference. We definitely appreciate it. And like I said, after this live stream is over with tonight, Ruth and I are going to get on and start seeing what kind of Black Friday deals we can find on a really good camera, so that I can stop filming off of the cell phone and start bumping up the quality on this stuff a little bit too. Rescue. Yeah. Ray was saying he runs a rescue and it's not all sniffles. Sometimes it makes you sad. I mean, yeah, as I've gotten older, I've gotten very empathetic. It's really difficult for me to, and it's a weird dichotomy. It's just part of my personality. I think it's kind of funny because I've always told, like, my soldiers or the people that I was training and fighting, that you can't be a good soldier unless you've got high functioning split personality disorder. You've really got to be able to compartmentalize really well. You have got to be the most violent, the most angry, the most rage-filled machine that you can possibly be on one side. And then when you get home, you've got to be there with your kids, treat your wife right, be respectful to your community. So you've got these two different personalities that are completely different. You're completely in Jekyll and Hyde mode. If you're really serious combat arms soldier or fighter and stuff like that. So it's I don't know, through the years, through balancing that, it's it really hurts me to see anything suffer that doesn't deserve it. Um, I've got other opinions about things that do deserve it, but I'll keep those to myself. Hey, Jeremy, how you doing, buddy? It's good to see you. Hey, man, if you want to jump on, I've got the link pinned in the comments up there. You're more than welcome to jump on and say hello if you want to. For those of you guys don't know, Jeremy Turgeon, Brassman Reptiles. He's is formerly up at New England Reptile, but has since moved down here to North Carolina, and he's pretty active as he can be with the Carolina Herp Society and stuff like that down here. Really awesome guy, and he's also a really good musician. We've had a lot of fun on a few jaunts that we've been able to take with him. So, let's see. See, right? If you like more. Okay, cool. That's between you guys. All right, Christina. I don't know how far behind I am in the comments here, but I will see you later. You have a good night. Sure, we'll talk to you guys soon. 25 years, compassion fatigue. Yeah, I'm sure it is. That's like I said, Tammy. I've got more respect for anybody in the medical field than I can express. And it's really weird too, because like I said, working with the medical examiner's office, doing the crime and accident scene recoveries, I didn't have a problem with that. You know, I mean, I'd see things that hit me here and there, but you know, once the person is gone and the suffering is no longer a part of the situation, it's a lot more manageable than if that person's coming in and dying in your arms or something. So, like I said, all the respect in the world for you guys. Yeah, I was just talking about getting tagged. I actually got tagged here not too long ago from Jay, the new male retic, and that was it wasn't bad. It was just a little defensive strike, but like all of my animals, I can go into their enclosures and do stuff in there and spot clean and things like that, and I really don't have to worry about it. Maybe a little tap here and there, something like that. Well, I tried the same thing with Jay, and I haven't had him as long, so he's definitely a little bit more ready to kick me out of his enclosure than my other animals are. Oh, cool. Jeremy jumped in. And bring you on. Let's see. Hey.
What's up?
Not much, man. How you doing over there?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Prepping for the Raleigh show right now.
Oh, you're gonna be out there?
Yeah, I'll be out there. Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go too. I've seen a couple people driving up from like Florida and stuff like that to this show.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah, so I'm thinking about going out there probably Saturday.
Yep.
Since I don't make any. Matter of fact, well, you what time does it start out there?
I think it's doors open at 9 on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys probably get there, what, 8?
Yeah, I'm getting out there tomorrow because they have vendors set up from 2 to 8 tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to get out there tomorrow evening and just get everything set up so I don't have to stress and wake up and run.
Right. Well, cool. Yeah, I was going to offer to come out and help you set up, but if you've already got it covered the night before, then.
Oh yeah, no, I appreciate it, dude. Yeah, no, it'll be a fun time. I haven't vended a show since the last Raleigh in August. Yeah, I've been busy as hell, man. But I'm excited because starting December, but really kind of kicking off in January, I have a few things happening that allow me to actually be a bit more relaxed and schedulely stable.
Schedulely stable.
Yeah, which will be nice. So hopefully we can get some other things going, like really like pump the Carolina Herp Society back up in
That'd be
2024,
that'd be
and a
cool.
few other things that have just been too much
Yeah.
to tackle in the midst of chaos. Um, but yeah, so I'm excited for that. Like I said, starts kind of next month. I'm going to make a big announcement about it after the first, and then it really settles in January. So I'll
Cool.
be away the first week of January for some work stuff relating to that, and then I get to
Right.
come back. It's nice and easy. So
Really? Is
yeah.
it man, I don't want to break into your announcement or anything, but by
It's
guessing.
not music related. It's not music related. It is reptile related though, which is
Okay.
cool. So yeah, I won't say too much. But the opportunity is affording me a lot of flexibility. And music, from musically speaking, I'm actually working to be more studio based than live based.
Right.
Um, 2023, I've had a lot of studio work come through, and it's, in comparison to the live performance realm, much more professional,
Right.
much less hassle when it comes to pay and things like that.
Thank
And
you, Rodney.
I can also I can also record from home. I have a setup from home.
Oh, cool.
So unless I actually have to get on the road to go to a studio session, I can do it right from home, which
That's
again just gives
awesome.
me a lot more flexibility. So I'm very, very excited for that. Like I said, after the 1st of December, I'll be able to talk a lot more about it, but I'm kind of keeping it under wraps until then. So stay tuned,
Cool.
guys.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'll have to make sure I link man, which platform or not platform rather, but which YouTube channel are you guys focusing on mainly now? Because I think you've got a couple, right?
Yeah. So I've got the Brassman Reptiles YouTube channel, but moving forward with the podcast, we have a channel just for the Reptile Talk podcast. So, and that's going to come back again in 2024. I chatted with Rob a little bit about that, and of course,
Yeah,
the holidays are hard. He and I both travel. We've got family all over the place, so it's just too
right.
chaotic to try to jump into something now. But 2024, where we've got a whole list of people that we've either reached out to or are going to be reaching out
Right.
to kind of schedule some stuff out. So again, having a schedule that's a lot less chaotic is going to be actually quite wonderful.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, because I mean we pretty much know as we're planning the stuff that we're doing out here is like, yeah, Jeremy's gonna be gone. He's out of the equation for a little while.
Yeah, man, it's just, dude, it's been so crazy. I mean, I'm sure we'll chat about it if you're at Raleigh. I can fill you in
Yeah,
on some stuff, but
that'd
yeah,
be
it's
cool.
just this year has been nuts. I mean, especially since I'm sure anybody who's keeping snakes and selling snakes knows, like, this year has been tough. It's been rough, so sales have been slow, which means those of us
Yeah.
that have other avenues to generate income have been focusing so much more time on that, and
Mhm.
just to be able to make ends meet. So this year's definitely been rough, and just kind of scrambling to keep things going. Certainly
Right.
for myself, I'm not in a bad position, but
Mhm.
definitely have had to put boots on the ground a lot more frequently to get
I
things
bet.
done than previous years. So again, walking into 2024, having things a lot less chaotic is going to be really, really nice.
Oh yeah, yeah, that'll be awesome. Yeah, we really need to start doing some more stuff with the Herb Society too. Um, Getting
Yeah.
that stuff built back up. I'd really like to see monthly meetings coming back, getting people out and
Yes.
doing stuff.
Yes, I definitely agree. And I know we had spoke briefly. I forgot who the whole group of people were, but one of the problems that we were finding was a lot of weekends when we would plan stuff. Sundays seem to be a pretty solid day for most people, not much going on.
Right.
But there's so many shows, there's so many expos that are going on. So it's really hard, because we would have people say, like, "Oh, I wish I could be at that meeting, but I'm vending this show or I'm vending that show."
Right.
So one of the things that we were talking about was, maybe still having a monthly meetup and meeting for those
Hmm.
that are able, but depending on the region, sending either a board member or like a really key locked in member to that reptile show, and be able to have like a satellite meetup of at least
Right.
like, hey, like let's go hang, let's do something, or like, do you need help behind your table or something, just something like
Well,
that.
yeah, man, that would
So,
tie in the thing that Danielle Souza had
mhm.
had a big part in. We went out to the Durham show a few months ago and just set up that educational table at a show me
Yes.
show. That would be
Yeah.
that would be a really cool thing, and that went over really well. Before we left there, Phoebe just penciled us in. She was like, "Everybody loved having you guys here, so I'm putting you on the schedule, and if you can't make it, let me know."
Yeah, and that's perfect. That's perfect. And I should say, while we're here, massive kudos to you and James and Christina and everything for all of the educational work that you guys have been doing and getting out, going to do those events and everything. Like,
It's
that's
been,
huge. Like, we need that proactive work in the community, and you guys have just been killing it.
dude. These guys were awesome. Um, I ain't got enough good things to say about everybody that was out there at the museum, man. And every time I'd walk away from the group, I'd have one of the staff members out there at the museum going, "These people are smart."
Yes, that's what
I'm
we
like,
want.
"Yeah,
That's what
man.
we want.
Yep." There was, man, everybody was just so impressed with them. They're like, "Man, they're just rattling off everything that the answer and everything that you could possibly want to know." And it was so much fun, and it beat my ass because I had all the big snakes out there that day.
Oh yeah. Then we're just gonna have to get you a ball python, man. You can just have it draped over his shoulder. It'll be fine.
I can't do it. I can't. I'm gonna be in a damn walker at 80 years old, still wrestling Monty's 20-foot ass around. It's just I can't. I love my
Uh,
retics too much.
yeah. Hey, I hear you, man. I hear you.
They're so
Uh,
much fun. But yeah, they Monty, that was actually her first big event. I've had her out around people before,
oh, nice.
but that was the first actual big event that she did. She did freaking perfect.
Heck yeah, man.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was really happy to see that. What else was did get a really good picture of her. I don't know. Did you see the video yet
I
of the
haven't
event?
watched it. No.
Yeah, there's one on the channel here.
Okay.
Put it out. I think it was the one before last or something like that. But yeah, I got a really good shot. She was just posted up about 3 feet high over the windowsill, looking out the window.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, with all the kids on the other side. She's just looking out the window, going, "It looks so quiet out there."
Oh man, that's awesome. I got to check that out for sure.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. They've already invited us back, so
And that's
probably
great.
probably in the springtime,
Yeah.
And these things are gonna be. They approached us, the museum did.
Yeah.
It was a reference from Creekside, from the park that we did down there.
Oh, nice. Nice.
And somehow they was communicating with each other, and she called me and she said, "Hey, Creekside said you did something cool." I was like, "Yeah, we did."
Awesome. Right. You're darn right we did.
Yeah, we did a thing. We did a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, after we'd been there for like an hour, the same thing out there. I mean, it was like, "You guys got to come back." So
that's awesome.
We'll probably be out there. I know that one. I'd like to do something as soon as it warms up around all those dinosaurs that they've got outside. Because I really want to get
that would be cool.
Get a picture of my retics up on the dinosaurs. And then the Greensboro Science Center has got like a science fair type thing going on in April, I think it is, that I'm going to try and get in on. So,
heck yeah.
It's going to be a busy year.
But that's great, man. That's great. That, again, that being proactive and just showcasing these animals in such an amazing light, that's what we need. Yeah. That really is what we need.
Yeah, when you see the video and you see some of the stuff, that some of these kids in there, man, they were losing it. It was great.
Heck yeah. No, I love it. I love it.
So what have you guys been up to, man? I mean, outside of you've been mostly touring with your music and stuff, right?
Yeah, so I've been doing a lot of work. This year I pretty much was full-time working with a corporate band called Infinite Soul, and they're a great 11-piece party band. Do corporate functions and weddings and stuff like that. But we're booked every weekend.
Really?
Yeah, like we've even been getting bookings into 2025 right
Oh
now,
wow.
which is crazy. So and they recently promoted me to run the horn section, which is great.
Sweet.
So now I'm in charge of doing arrangements for the horns and all that kind of stuff too. So
Nice.
um, yeah, it's been great. It's been taking up a good chunk of my time, but the people are great, the musicians are great, and we always have a fun time. So
Right.
I can't really complain. But between that and then just running this chaotic show of way too many snakes, it's pretty much got me all kind of dialed in here. Um, but yeah, like I said, and then I've done some teaching. I did some guest teaching up in Massachusetts
Oh,
about a
cool.
month and a half ago.
Nice.
So I just got a call back about doing that again in the spring. So I got to figure out that stuff. Um, but yeah, like I said, been trying to push myself to be more available for studio work. Um, this week has been a really fun week. So yesterday there was an artist that released a single that I arranged and recorded horns on. Today there was an artist that released a song that I arranged and recorded horns on, and
Really?
tomorrow I release my next single,
Right.
which is
Yeah, I
which
saw
is
that.
super great. Yeah, so it's been a music filled week. Um, Working on some new music with my partner as well. So we've just been like kind of pedal to the metal, trying to get stuff done. And like I said, the studio realm has been so much more enjoyable. Just way less headaches.
Oh, I
Like
bet.
I love, and don't get me twisted. Don't get it twisted. Like I love performing live. Like I love
Yeah.
being on stage. Love having that camaraderie. But what I hate is the business side of performing live, chasing down talent buyers, haggling for $100 a show. It's like that's just not like we're not living
Yeah.
on that. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's like I can make more than double that doing a recording and arranging session
Hmm.
for a single song, you
Right.
know, than what I'm doing playing a 2.5 hour set for $100, and I'm like, again, love playing out live, but it kind of makes a little bit more sense to just hone the studio skills and just lock it in. So,
Right.
uh, with the release of the single that went out today, I've now effectively worked on 40 projects in the last 7.5 years. So 40 albums in the last 7.5, 8 years, which is
Nice.
pretty crazy.
Right.
And yeah, so we'll close out the year with surpassing 40, and then I've got two big ones that are going to drop next year that I can't speak about until they're actually out, but definitely some high profile work.
Nice.
So I'm super excited about all of that.
Might have to get with you guys about some new music for the channel.
Let me know, man. Absolutely, absolutely.
That'd be cool when everybody gets in the big time, so you can all start from.
Right.
Yeah, all I need to do, like I said, all I need to do is tap into about 10% of Kevin's subscribers, man, and we'll be cool.
Right.
I keep.
Oh man.
I need to have everybody put a bug in his ear, say, "Hey, man, have Tim on and blow him up a little bit."
Yeah, right. Right.
We're
He's
talking.
all over the place too.
Oh
Have
yeah.
you been talking to him?
No, no,
Oh,
no.
okay. Yeah.
Last time I talked with him was when was discussing the Sri Lankan,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
and I was
Yep.
about halfway through with him, and I was like, "Okay, man, give me some of your Magic Mojo stuff." And he's like, "Dude,
Step one.
you're
Step
on it,
one, grow ponytail. Step two.
right?" I used to have a ponytail before I joined the military as a kid. I was 19 years old, and if my mom is still in here, oh, she's actually, I don't know if she hasn't left yet. I'm sure she remembers cutting off my ponytail before basic training.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. I was full 90s kid. I was just coming out of the martial arts school and all that. Had the
Hmm.
ponytail and the slick back hair and all that stuff, and yeah. And ever since
Oh,
I've left the military, I haven't been able to grow it back out.
yep. One and done. That's why we always joke with Kevin and be like, man, if you ever cut that off, like that's it. The mojo's gone, dude. You
Yeah.
can't even breed ball pythons after that.
No. I'm gonna have to take over for him at that point. It's like, the whole Samson cutting off his hair thing.
Right. Oh,
but it was, I mean,
yeah.
he did, offer his 2 cents on that stuff. And it was really nice to hear him say that, he did suggest going in and, flat handed in front of the snake and the enclosure and stuff like that, instead of the way I was doing it. And I've started using that more, which works. But, it really made me feel good, cause I mean, he is who I watched to learn how to handle retics,
Right.
I just meditated on everything that he said about working with him, and then just happened to be able to do that thousands of times with a whole big collection. And
right.
So yeah, I mean, he's the reason why I don't have as many stitches as I do. And have him say, man, you're good. I don't know a whole lot of people that can even do that and work with them like that. So I was like, man, that's
good.
It's good praise. I appreciated it.
Heck yeah.
Makes me feel good to know that I'm not putting out bullshit on the internet, right?
It is nice to feel set apart. That's for sure.
Yeah.
That's for sure. No, he's I know I was just talking to him the other day. I know he's working on building this croc monitor display enclosure right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so he did a big one for the dwarf caiman, and so he's trying to finish the one for the croc monitors, and then the last one he's going to do, at least I think the last one for the year that he's going to do, is for all the snapping turtles that he's got over there. So
cool.
Yeah, he's slowly gutting the fish room in the retail pet shop.
Yeah.
And it's going to become like a massive display education area and stuff, and he's going to put some really cool things down there. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, as the sales of fish, like especially now, you can get so many things online. So like brick and mortar pet shops are everywhere struggling, and have been for many years as online sales are becoming more and more popular.
Right.
But especially now with live animal trade going online, it's really easy to just reach out, find where you can get something you want and get it, So as those clientele kind of drift off to online land, he's realized like, well, I got this space that honestly costs me a lot of money.
Right.
So how can I make this, useful and beneficial? And he's like, the last thing I want to do is breed more things, he's like, but I want to talk to people about these things that I think are cool. And that fish room, the guys who designed the sumps and the water systems behind it were like some of the same guys that worked on the New England Aquarium. So it's got like these huge below floor sumps, like massive water systems. So it's like, dude, this is great. So all that plumbing and everything that he's got in there, it's like, dude, this is great to put up these amazing, large enclosures with these great water features and everything like that. It's like, you've got everything you need. You already spent $1 million on it, so you might as well use it.
Yeah, it won't be able to handle the same number of reptiles as it would the same number of fish, but
right. But you get a couple of really good displays. I know he was talking about doing something for the green anacondas in there soon too, and I'm like, that would be really, especially get a nice waterfall or something in there. It'd be really, really cool.
I can't wait.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're kind of starting to look at places right now. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of. I mean, I've got to get into something a little bit bigger, a lot bit bigger. Because I mean, I want to have something set up where I can live there, and I've got enough space to expand. I don't need to expand my stuff out a lot because I'm not going to have like a huge retic collection or nothing. But I want to have an anaconda enclosure. I want to get 2 or 3 more enclosures like Niles, and have Asian water monitor in there, and a couple other species. Just want to expand stuff and have enough room to where I can actually have people over and do educational stuff with them. So
heck yeah.
So yeah, hopefully here in the springtime, if we can find the right place that we can buy, then we're gonna go ahead and buy that. I'll start expanding out on that.
Heck yeah,
make our own. make our own. I was thinking too, to if we can find the right place and make the right deal, I'd like to start doing something out here in North Carolina, kind of like Retic Fest.
That would be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, come fish this retic out of the rafters.
Yeah, I kind of wish somebody would have had their phone out recording that. I don't know why nobody had their phone out recording that, but nobody did.
They didn't want to film the potential demise of Tim. That's
Well, it was kind of funny because it was kind of late in the day. And of course, kind of late in the day, everybody's had a couple beers in them or something,
Yep.
or a few somethings. And
a few somethings, yeah.
Well, I mean, it was funny when it started out too, because I was sitting outside talking with a bunch of people outside. Somebody said Karma's in the rafters, and they go, "Oh, cool, big snake stuff. I'm gonna go do big snake stuff." And I'll go upstairs, and she's up there, man, and it was trying to figure out how to get her down. And there was this one guy who was like, her head was, I'm trying to see with the camera here. Her head was like right. Okay, so here's the beam, and this is like her head. He's on a little stool way over here, stretching over, trying to get over there and like nudge her off. And I'm like, dude, that's 20-foot snake. If you think you're getting her to move with your fingertips like that, it's not going to happen. And
gosh,
yeah, I didn't want to be rude to anybody, so I just kind of sat back and watched for a little while. And then she finally gets over, she starts coming down. So I managed to get her out there and start riding her down my shoulders. And as soon as her tail starts coming down, to get her wrapped around me and so forth. But the whole time I was doing that, there was this drunk guy right below me yelling at everybody. I don't even remember what he was saying. He was just being loud. I don't know that he was being mean or rude or anything like that. He was just drunk and he's loud. And I keep trying to tell him to be quiet because I'm trying to explain to the people that are watching what I'm doing and what I'm using to get her controlled off of there. And I was like, dude, would you please be quiet?
Disclaimer, guys, it was not me. I know I'm loud when I'm drunk, but it was not me.
No, you're not that bad. This dude was just like, I was like, I was like, dude, every time I start talking, you start yelling. Nobody can hear me. But yeah, it was kind of funny. I ended up getting her down, and it scared a couple of people that were watching too, because she got about 2 wraps around my rib cage when just to keep her from falling, and she had like 6-8 feet of her stretched out, so she latched on tight as hell.
Yep.
You can hear me go. It's like, you okay? You need me to help? Like, I'm good. Just give me a second to get her on the floor. She'll stop.
Right.
It was a lot of fun though.
Too good, man. Too good. Well, listen, I'm gonna dip so I can finish show prep. I gotta get stuff packed in the morning so we can hit the road. But dude, I'm glad to jump on. It's always good to chat with you, dude.
Likewise.
Heck yeah, man. I'll talk to you soon, and probably I'll see you at Raleigh.
Yeah. I'll make a point of coming out there Friday or Saturday morning. Hang out with you guys for a little while, man. It'd be cool.
Sounds good, man. I'll see you then.
Awesome. Have a good night, buddy.
All right. Good night.
Hey, bye. Well, that was a good surprise. We don't get to talk to Jeremy too often. His stays pretty busy, but it'll be good. Hopefully he if he gets some more time coming up next year, we can get involved with a lot more stuff. So how long have we been on anyway? We're going over an hour so far. And I know once I get somebody on and we get to talking, I end up missing a whole bunch of this stuff. So I don't see anything right off the top of my head. It looks like a question. So I think we're going to go ahead and call it a night. I'm going to go out and find my midnight snack and take me a little bit of a break. And I didn't notice, for those of you that are still on, like I said, I've got 3 more videos that I'm going to be putting out this weekend. Time permitting, should be able to. That's my goal anyway. Is there any specific topics that you guys can think of? I can't guarantee that I'll cover it, but if there's anything you can think of last minute, go ahead and drop it down, or drop it down in the comments or whatever. I'll check that stuff as I go over the weekend too. So hey, you guys have a good one, Michael. I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it a night. So I really appreciate you guys hanging out. It was a lot of fun. I always love these impromptu, off the cuff stuff where I have no idea what I'm going to talk about, and you guys all make it work for at least an hour. So you guys take care, and I am still going to do the live stream Saturday night at 8 o'clock Eastern as well. So I will see you then. You guys have a good night.